You got a red flash?
Yeah.
You're on?
Okay. So I just do from beginning the whole time, right? From beginning?
Yeah,
Okay.
just hit present.
Oh, present. Wait.
You were in the right
This
place.
one?
Yes. No. You were in the right place.
Oh, I was, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, class. So our group, we did recruitment. And so today we'll be touching on the topics of the steps of recruitment, where to recruit, the legal aspects, the internal and external recruiting, and the jobs in recruiting. Okay, so for the steps of recruitment, I will be talking about steps that we went over in class. So job analysis, management approval, job descriptions, budget approvals, classification, KSA, examples of KSA. Yeah, got a lot of stuff. All right, so job analysis. So job analysis, it's a process to identify and determine in detail the particular job duties and requirements. So this helps with employment procedures such as training, selection, compensation, and performance appraisals. And it also helps with like legalities. So management approval. Managers must complete the requisition form. So this must include all approval signatures whenever a department wishes to create or fill a new position, refill an existing position, or hire or lease a temporary employee. So for job description, job descriptions include the job title, the job objective, the overall purpose of the job, the summary and general nature and level of the job, description and broad functions and scope of the position, and the list of duties or tasks performed. All right, budget approval. So they have to use a request to hire form. It ensures workforce planning and proper budget allocation. They also coordinate with the HR department and the finance department to make sure everything's approved. And recruitment begins after the need has been determined and financial resources are available. All right, classification. Classification is responsible for classifying existing and new positions. Classification is done by conducting occupational studies, class specification and maintenance reviews, and individual classification studies. All right, KSA, we went over this. So it stands for knowledge, skills, and abilities. So knowledge focuses on the actual understanding of the particular concepts. Skills are reflected capabilities or proficiencies developed through training or actual experience. And abilities, okay. So these are the examples of KSA. So knowledge would be like, for example, if you're reading a book on nutrition, so you have like the knowledge of a nutritionist. Skills would be like actual working experience that you have. So this would be like if you're a chef, you have experience with cooking. Okay, so this is an example of a job posting. So as you can see, it has like the title, location, the job description. Basically it has like everything you need. Yeah, down there it like talks about your experience and all that. Okay. All right, so ATS is an applicant tracking system. That is a software application that enables the electronic handling of recruitment needs. So basically how it works is that all the resumes will go in a database, and then the recruiter can search for keywords for the resumes. All right, internal posting. So this is a job posting that is open to internal candidates only for consideration. Internal job postings are ideal because it saves time and money, reduces training time, improves productivity, improves morale, and facilitates succession planning. All right, recruiter screening. So this saves times on the recruiter's end by streamlining the selection process. So this is an effective way to minimize time spent traveling to employers' offices for initial screenings. All right, phone screenings. So this allows for to speedily identify the most promising candidates. The process is straightforward. Once your resume is pulled from the applicant pool, you can get like a brief phone screening instead of actually coming in for like a real interview. So it saves time. Interview packets. So these are what job applicants should bring to prepare for interviews. Interview packets should have extra copies of resumes, licenses or certifications you might need for the job, and a list of references. Okay. The interview, so this is a somewhat formal discussion between the applicant and the hirer to see if you're compatible for the job, and it establishes the applicant's suitability for a position. So this is good because it makes an impression, it exchanges information, it's a selling opportunity, and you can know the field. All right, testing. So these are work samples or performance tests required by the candidate. And here's a list of examples. So you have numerical reasoning tests, verbal reasoning tests, word processor tests, drug tests, personality tests, and background checks. All right, hiring matrices. This is made when a recruiter is trying to make their final decision when they're choosing between candidates. So they basically like compare all the candidates, see what they're good at, see what they're not, and rate them. Okay, the job offer. So this is the final step of the recruitment process. It includes a proposed salary, potential relocation, and benefits. And the formal offer comes after, which is either like a letter or an email. And the steps of the hire process when you get a new hire is you enter them into the workday, and then you do onboarding steps. Okay, so that's the end of the steps of recruitment. And now I'm going to take it to Ken, who will talk about where to recruit.
Thanks, Ken. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ken Castellan. I'm going to talk about where to recruit. So, the interview process is important, but if you don't have anyone to interview, it's not that important. So I'm going to go over today, talk about different industries in recruiting, how to recruit, and some applications. Alright, so the outline. So what I'm talking to today, small scale recruiting, large scale recruiting. 3 important applications, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and LinkedIn. And then everybody's favorite, Digital Dirt. Alright, so industry specific. So raise your hand if you worked in a restaurant here. Anybody? Alright, so that's kind of like more on the mom and pop shop, and then it goes into manufacturing, big businesses. So the recruiting is going to be different. So basically for a restaurant, like a smaller area, you're not going to, most restaurants you won't apply online. When I worked at my restaurant, I walked in, asked for a paper application, filled it out, things like that. With smaller places, less employees are required, smaller pool of people, limited to the area. If you're hiring for a restaurant, you don't want to look in Philly if it's in New Jersey. You want to get people that can come to work in an easy time. So localized recruiting, some methods. Again, with the whole restaurant theme, you'll probably put out flyers, Craigslist, word of mouth, walk-in applications, newspaper, or job fairs. So for the large-scale hiring, it's more people required. Plus, with today's technology, you could work in the United States and be based out of India because work from home or working online. So, like, the pool is endless. You can interview people that speak different languages, that are from different regions, have different ethics, things along those lines. So global recruiting. You could do billboards, more of online advertisements, TV, radio, and then the big applications today, basically, I'm sure you've all heard of them, are Indeed, ZipRecruiter, which is fairly new, and then LinkedIn, and I'm going to get into them in a second. Alright, so Indeed. So these are important to know because you can use them also as college graduates. You definitely want to sign up for these. But they also are used on the other end. So it's the #1 job site worldwide, 200 million visitors per month. It's available in more than 60 countries. So if you're a business looking at these stats, you're going to say, well, if 200 million people come to this site, we need people, we're going to use that site. So ZipRecruiter is fairly new. I just learned about it a couple days ago. It's actually an app. It's the #1 Android and iOS app available for recruiting purposes. 10,000 companies subscribe each month. So also important coming out of college if you're looking there. So LinkedIn, Mr. Casper always brings this up. It's super important to have one of these. You can connect with everyone. World's largest professional network. It's a little different than Instagram if you're not familiar with it. It's more professional based. It's kind of like your resume basically. You put your work experience, you put your school you attended. So if you want to be my friend, I would love to connect with you. This is my LinkedIn. So basically you can see my profile, and then those are the companies that I worked at. And then if you click in, it'll give you a detail of what I actually did there. And it goes on and on. You can go into what you like, your hobbies, things like that. So Digital Dirt. So raise your hand if you have an iPhone or Android here. Probably everybody. So that's what, 30 cameras. So you got to be careful today. I mean, 30 years ago you go to a party and no one takes a picture, no one had a camera. But now there's pictures being taken every 5 seconds. So definitely just like know your surroundings. Something that's been recent, which is kind of funny, the people covering up like alcohol bottles, things like that with like emojis and cats and God knows what. But also be careful for this because I mean, clearly they're not holding a cat, but it's kind of funny. Alright, so clean it up. You can change your account to private, but like most people, they don't want it private. So you need to monitor your posts on Instagram and Facebook, and monitor what people tag you in. I mean, I have stupid friends, I'm sure everyone does. They say, "Huh, look at this, it's super funny," and then you're like, Jesus Christ, why do you tag me in that? So just monitor what goes in and out, basically. So a little of my background, I worked at Protocol as a summer human resource intern. So we did a lot of recruiting. It was localized, people coming through the door, and I got a lot of experience doing interviewing, things like that. It's also a pretty good company if you're looking for a job. So we did job fairs. Like I said, it was local recruiting. So it was based out of Vineland where I worked. So we went to the flea market, things like that. We went to malls, just localized recruiting. No, like, you could apply online, but since it's a smaller company, you're not going to get, like if you put this on LinkedIn, you probably won't get a lot of hits. I also did a lot of interviewing, which is an awesome experience. I like to talk to people and you get to meet a lot of cool people. One story I like to tell people is Vineland's not the best area in some places. So this guy came out of jail. He was actually in jail for first-degree murder, and I thought he was the nicest guy in the world. Talked to him for like 2 hours, and then I ran his background check, and I couldn't call him. But you never know who you're going to meet. So my future, I'm actually stepping away from the human resource business management. I'm going into insurance. It's really interesting. If you're looking for an alternative route, it could be something for you. And to reflect, so today I talked about small-scale recruiting, large-scale recruiting, Digital Dirt. Don't forget Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and LinkedIn. Definitely sign up for them. Personally, I'm not on ZipRecruiter. I did make an account in Indeed, and I am on LinkedIn. And remember, create a LinkedIn, clean up Digital Dirt, and next up with recruiting and law is Caroline Bowler.
Hey guys, I'm Caroline and I'm going to be talking about legal aspects of recruitment. And I'm going to start off by talking about a few of the laws and acts that recruiters that have to do with recruiting. One of the first ones I'm going to talk about is the EEOC, which is Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. And basically, it enforces the law prohibiting employment discrimination like race, gender, national origin, even disabilities. And the commission is composed of 5 members who all vote on documents that reflect different workplace scenarios and situations, and that's about discrimination in the workplace. And the Title VII Civil Rights Act of 1964 is basically where the EEOC came from. And it generally applies to employers with 15 or more employees, and including federal, local, and state government. The NALP is the National Association of Law Placement, and it's mainly for lawyers and like legal recruiters, and you can recruit college students, lawyers, or people to just in general work in law offices. And the employers have control over their own listings.